Hi, my name is Brianne Ellis, and I will be discussing sign language as a way of communication for individuals with an autism spectrum disorder. Sign language is a series of gestures typically done with the hands and arms in order for individuals on the spectrum to communicate with other people. It's previously been mostly known for the deaf community, but it's also worked really well for individuals on the spectrum. Um, Sign language can be taught through the prompt hierarchy. So, for example, you could start with a full physical prompt and fade it out to a partial physical, and then work your way down the hierarchy. Or it can also be taught through modeling. So, for example, if an individual wants water, you could teach them to make the sign for W and tap it against their cheek. Likewise, if they would like candy, you'd have them hold up their index finger and place it against their cheek and turn it, and then they would receive the candy, and their skill of using the sign would become functional. They learn that when they ask for candy, they get candy, and it becomes their way to communicate. Likewise, they can do the same for puzzle. So you take both of your fingers together, place them on top of each other, and then flip them over again. For cracker, if a child would like to ask for cracker, you take your arm up and your hand flat and tap your elbow into your hand, and then they'd be given a cracker, and again, that word would become functional. They can also label things. So, for example, if they're singing the Days of the Week song and they want to say Monday, they would make the sign for M, which is your thumb under your first three fingers, and move it in a circle, and continue on. So to Tuesday, put their thumb under their first finger and move it in a circle, and so on through all the days of the week. If a person is in a large crowd and they need to get through somewhere and say, "Excuse me," they can lay their one hand flat, put the other one on top, and move it back and forth. Or if someone has given them something and they want to say thank you, you take your hand at your chin and place it forward and say thank you in that manner. If a child is all done with something, or an adult, and they'd like to let people know, you take both hands in the air and turn your wrists back and forth. Sign language is most beneficial for people on the spectrum who have good fine motor skills. They need to have good dexterity in their fingers and be able to manipulate them in a way that they can perform the signs clearly for others to see. It's also really great in the family setting because it's something that everyone can participate in and learn in. One downside is that not everyone else in the world knows sign language. So when you're out in public and you have someone else that doesn't know it, you might be playing more of charades than actually doing sign language. But it's very functional when you're doing it to people that do understand the signs, and it can be very conversational and do a sentence such as, thank you for the water, for example. Another good side to sign language is that it's cost effective. You always have your body with you, so you can always do the signs, whereas families that may not have the money to spend on a tablet or on the laminating and pictures for PECs, and sign language does not cost other than having a way to learn the signs, so possibly a book or a curriculum to first be taught how to perform the signs. So in conclusion, sign language is an excellent choice for people with autism spectrum disorders to use to communicate, and it can be very effective and functional for them. Thank you.